Something really cool just quietly made its way onto the internet, and it's a little development machine. I don't even know how to define it, but I already love it. It's called the Pilet by Soulscircuit, and it comes in 2 flavors, a console and a tablet. It's a Raspberry Pi 5 based machine, and I don't even know what I would do with it, but I want one just to have one. Actually, I want both of them, the console and the tablet, and I'll figure out what to do with them later. Comment below what you would do with something like this. The Pilet was only created by 1.5 people according to their website.
Huh, I'm 8.5 inches. Damn, dude, this guy's tiny. He must be a dwarf.
Let's have a quick look at their site and check out the guts of this thing. Now that is promising almost 60 watt hours of battery capacity. That's more than my laptop. It says on their site that it should get 7 hours of battery life. Now let's take a look at the power consumption of the Raspberry Pi 5 at different conditions. At idle, it'll pull between 2.5 and 3.5 watts. During light desktop use, it'll pull between 4 and 5 watts. A heavy CPU load will hit 7 to 8 watts. And a heavy load on both the CPU and GPU will hit between 10 and 12 watts. The 5 and 7 inch screens they're using should pull between 4 and 7 watts just based on other generic screens. So if you're just doing some word processing or light scripting, I can see it lasting up to 10 hours. But that 7-hour claim seems to be more realistic based on the fact that people would have more mixed use between light and heavy loads on the CPU and GPU. If I had these machines, I'd probably run them in CLI most of the time. Imagine what kind of battery life you'd get then when the GPU doesn't have to render a desktop. And of course, to the right of the batteries, there we have the Pi 5. Now obviously they're not showing everything in this image, but I hope there's some kind of daughter board to move where the GPIO pins come out, because it would be kind of weird if they just came straight out the back like that. Might make it kind of awkward to hold. I'm also wondering how the ergonomics would work when one or more of the USB ports are populated, or when an Ethernet cable is plugged in. This looks like the console version. Unless I'm blind, I don't see any images or videos where the I/O is on the tablet version. In terms of software, it looks like it's running Plasma Mobile on top of their own distro, Pilet OS. I'm assuming the distro does specialty things like battery management for a more efficient experience. According to their site, this thing will be entirely open source, both the hardware and the software. That's pretty cool. Moving over to their Kickstarter page, which I'll leave a link for below, they've already garnered 1.3 million Canadian buckaroos as of June 4th, and they're planning to ship in July. Their Kickstarter page seems to be more updated than their actual website. I can help with keeping the site up to date. I'm just kidding. Unless... Really, what are we working with here? Bootstrap? Svelte. Alright, Svelte is cool. Only other thing on here that I haven't already mentioned are the tech specs. This being kind of unexpected but cool. LTE cellular. The only thing I think Soulscircuit should change is the naming scheme. Just my opinion, but this one simply should be called the console. And this one simply should be called the tablet. Because what happens when a new version comes out? It might be kind of confusing to new customers. They could also end up assuming that the 5 and the 7 are different generations. Again, that's just my opinion though, and the only real problem I have with this product because I like everything else. This thing can only be described as a gadget from a 1980s sci-fi movie brought to life. I can't wait to use BASIC and stop a Demogorgon with it. I hope the creators end up watching this video because this is very cool. Thank you for watching. Share this video with your friends, like and subscribe, and see you next time.